जय श्री माता जी। हम सब श्री माता जी को नतमस्तक होकर नमस्कार करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे। लेट्स ऑल bow down to श्री माता जी, offer our pranams and take बंधन। तीन महामंत्र और श्री गणेश मंत्र। अपने आप को संतुलन में लाने की प्रक्रिया करेंगे, नाड़ियों और चक्रों के शुद्धिकरण करते हुए। दोनों हाथ हम जमीन पर रखेंगे. लेट्स प्लेस बोथ आवर हैंड्स ऑन द मदर अर्थ, टुवर्ड्स मदर अर्थ, एंड प्लेस आवर अटेंशन ऑन द मूलाधार चक्र. अपने चित्त को मूलाधार चक्र पर केंद्रित करते हैं. श्री माता जी, कृपा करके हम सभी को अबोध बनाइए. श्री माता जी, प्लीज मेक अस प्योर एंड innocent. दाहिने हाथ अब श्री माता जी की ओर, बाएं हथेली को अपने दाहिने स्वादिष्ठान पर. लेट्स प्लेस अ राइट हैंड टुवर्ड्स श्री माता जी, द लेफ्ट हैंड on our right swadhisthana, the attention to be placed on our right swadhisthana. चित्त को दाहिने स्वादिष्ठान में रखें. श्री माता जी, आप ही सारे कार्य के कर्ता है. श्री माता जी, verily you are the doer and you are the enjoyer. श्री माता जी, कृपा करके हमारे चित्त को शांत एवं संतुलित कीजिए. श्री माता जी, please purify and enlighten our attention. बाएं हथेली को गोद पर श्री माता जी की ओर, दाहिने हथेली को हृदय पर रखें. The left hand back on the lap facing Shri Mataji. The right hand, let's place it on our heart and put our attention entirely in our heart. श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में हम शुद्ध आत्मा है. श्री माता जी, by your grace, we are the pure spirit. चित्त को धीरे धीरे अपने सहस्त्रार पर केंद्रित करते हैं. Let's raise our attention and place it on a सहस्रार. श्री माता जी, कृपा करके हमें निर्विचार समाधि प्रदान करें. श्री माता जी, प्लीज take us and establish us in thoughtless awareness state. इसी ध्यान की स्थिति में हम श्री माता जी की अमृतवाणी सुनेंगे. Let's listen to Shri Mata Ji's speech.
So now we have talked about Bhairava and we have seen how negativity acts within us and how we get caught up. So I would say that we must always keep in mind that we have a soul and that soul can be attacked. It has been already attacked with all the kind of things we have had in these modern lives. It's already under attack. But now we have to cleanse it and put it right. If you really want to enjoy Sahaja and cleanse yourself, then you have to understand that we need lot of introspection. Lot of introspection. Now the people who are left-sided are they are not straightforward. And they are sly and they talk ill about others. Last time I discovered that in Perth there was a lot of things people were talking, and I wanted to remind you again that I heard about it also, that even now in Australia that kind of people are still there who just start at the back saying things. One person says something, another listens to it, and it's very, very bad thing. Because talking ill about others means you first of all get the ill within you. The second is that the way you propagate, you stop divinity spreading out. Thirdly, you grow into negativity yourself, and to whomsoever you talk, that person also gets infected. It's like a disease. So I think in Australia throughout we have to be very careful, because we have had two big somersaults, you can say, big falling, because of this only. That secretly, and this is a side, I would say Australia is very left-sided, otherwise also because Ganesha's place. That's why Ganesha was placed here, to save you and to put you right as far as the left side is concerned. And we have to be very cautious, because that temperament develops, depend on. Like also it is in England quite a lot, but say not in America, say not in Austria, not in Russia, Germany. They are on the contrary open, and they can be aggressive, but they are not sly. So either you are aggressive or you are sly. Accordingly, you must find out within yourself what's wrong with you and where are we wrong. Because after all, we are Sahajogis. It's a great chance we have got that we have got our realization. And that now we have reached a stage where we really are placed in the kingdom of God. But now how far you go into it depends only on you. Now Russia, why we were successful? Because people are very introspective. If you read any book of Russian writers like Tolstoy or anyone, anything they do, say even if they fall in love or anything, immediately they start introspecting. Why? Why am I falling in love? Why is happening to me? Why am I thinking like that? Why am I doing like that? You see, they introspect. And that introspection, if we do not have within ourselves, then what happens that we can go either to the right or to the left. But in this country, I see it's more the left side. Sly things are there. Now how all this has happened, that we had some horrible leaders agreed, and instead of talking about it or telling me about it, they all just started talking among themselves and all that. and they got all their bad qualities sort of combined within themselves, and that's how so many lost their vibrations and lost their, what should I say, the searching power. So, when you see a person or anyone who is doing wrong, better is to forget about it. Or if you don't forget, then you should write to me. Even if you don't do that, better go and talk to that person on his face, that I think this is not right. But if you write to me, it can be solved. The problem can be solved. Say now you have one Mr. X as your leader, or anybody here who is coming, say, from New Zealand, or someone from outside. Immediately you should find out, are you critical of him? What are you looking at that person? What are you trying to find out about that person? If you are critical, then know that you can never progress. You should be critical about yourself, not about others. Know that you are most imperfect. That's the best way. Like we had a child, about 9-year-old, and he was extremely sly type. And he was talking ill like this of this person to that person, and he would go and just jump onto someone and hit someone secretly, not openly. So I called the child and I asked him, what do you think of yourself? Do you think you are the most perfect person? He said, yes, I do. I said, that's it. It's finished. Such a person cannot improve. So when you try to find faults with others, know that we have too many faults ourselves. Not to feel guilty, of course, that point is there. You should never feel guilty about it. If you have faults, just see what faults do I have, how will I correct, what chakras I am catching. Instead of seeing the chakras of others, if you see your own, then you will become purified, you will be very clean, you will be wonderful, everything will be fine. But if you cannot see your own faults, that means you haven't yet got your self-realization. Self-realization means to know about yourself. And this last time I did say all these things here in Perth and also otherwise, that to talk about somebody like that, to spread stories, ladies especially should be careful because they are on the left. They have to be very, very careful that they start judging others. They think they are perfect, they judge, they tell their husband, then husband tells another husband, then husband tells his wife, it spreads. You have to be extremely wise and sensible women. If you are not sensible, this will spread like a disease. In Sahaja Yoga, this is one of the diseases I dread, is what Christ has called murmuring souls. He said, beware of the murmuring souls. Leaders are also afraid to tell you something. If they tell you something, immediately you start saying, oh, mother said so, he is saying so. Whatever the leader is saying, you must listen to him, you must obey him, ask him what does he mean by saying this, what is it. Now, in case you find something wrong with the leader, you are all free to write to me, and I will definitely go into it. For example, Stephen wrote to me about someone, and I went into this, inquired, and found out what was the thing. See, so there's no harm in finding out about someone. Some lady wrote to me also, and I found it. So, but unnecessarily paying attention to another person is not a good thing. Paying attention to yourself and looking all the good points of another person, of helping another person. That's how we would be collective, we'll be growing faster, and we'll be enjoying ourselves. Now our children are here. Now, what I find that we do not know really what are the balanced ways of looking after children. So some think that when I said they are realized souls, so they say, all right, let them do what they like. It's not true. Otherwise, if that is so, they would have been born out of the trees, you see. Why are they born out of you? So you have a responsibility whether they are realized or not. You have a responsibility about your children, and you have to see that you correct them. It's very important. Some people I've seen allow their children to go just so mad, they go so amok. In this I would say an Indian parent is an ideal parent. What he will do, he looks after the child, also in a way he loves, expresses his love and all that. But if he finds anything wrong with the child, immediately he'll correct. Immediately. Not spare. In the presence of others. Now, if another person comes and tells about the child that this child has done, immediately he will scold the child. He will never get angry with another person, why did you say about my child? But thank him that thank God you have told. Because he might be spoilt more. Like I'll tell you, we had one Avdut, now he's a grown-up boy when he was young. One day he asked me that if you leave your parents, the badhas of your parents, they leave you or not? I said, no, they may not leave the badhas of your parents. Then what's this of leaving the parents? But I said, who is leaving parents? No, he said, I heard that in the Western countries, children leave their parents when they are 18 years of age. But I would not like to leave the parents. I said, why? You can be free. He said, then I'll be free to do wrong. Who will correct me? If I take a cigarette in my hand, who will correct me? Who will tell me don't do it? I mean, if a child takes a cigarette in the hand, immediately the father will take a cigarette and burn it once more. And next time I see you, I'll burn your tongue. Finished. But the child knows that the father loves me and loves me in such a way that I should not lose my father. But he must know that he can lose the kindness of the father. If you allow the child just all the time to behave the way he likes or it likes, then it will sit on your head. Today only I was discussing with him and I told him that I was traveling one day with one lady in the train, one of the Sahaja, and her child was there. Not very old, must have been about 7 years of age. She was trying to talk to me and this fellow was all the time, Mommy, Mommy, and then why was going on. You see, all the time. I told her, why must you answer all his questions? He's just making inquiries. I said, nothing sensible inquiries, it's nonsense. He wants to attract your attention. So why do you want to pay so much attention to him? So she said, Mother, how to stop it? I said, I'll stop it in 1 minute. I asked him, you should not ask so many questions. So he said, why? Because I said, you are stupid. You have to learn a lot still. And if you go on asking questions like this, you'll be very, very stupid. And one day you'll have to go like a madman. Do you want to become a madman? He got a fright of his life. You'll become mad. And you see, if you children are there, you have to tell them some stories. I'll tell you how. Some children have a habit of beating others or doing something. Then you said, now, if you beat, then a tail comes out of your bottom, like that, you see, like a doggy, and something like that. And they believe it. They believe it. Next day they'll ask, is there a tail coming out? Yeah, maybe. So now, you're going to our house. Yeah, I'll be very... You see, all these tricks have to be played with children. But they're very clever. And they know how to make you dance, you see. How to make you... they're sort of slaves sometimes, for everything. They will demand, do this. Now, because they are realized souls, I was surprised that when I went to London, you see, I read in the newspaper the statistics about children, that every week in London city only, 2 children are killed by parents. I mean, that was too much for me. So I just blasted all of them and I said, nothing doing, you must love your children. As a result, all the children sat on their heads. And they couldn't come to the programs. If they came to the programs, children were to be kept outside like doggies, tied together something. And in England, I don't know, maybe here also, they do have a leash, just like a dog. You see, they hold the children just tied and say, how cruel it is. But now I know how children can be in the West. I don't know, it's white skin or whatever you may say. That first, we started a school, you see, for them, because there was no school available, they were in a mess. So we said, all right, in Dharamshala we'll start a school. So we started a school in Dharamshala, and these children were brought because they had no way to go anywhere. So in a hurry it was started, you see. So there must be something Also, if you just start a school in a great hurry, maybe some things are left out. But these children were terrible because they saw these teachers who were Indians, so they came and started punching them, they started showing tongue to them, sometimes spitting at them, sometimes uh, pinching and doing all kinds of things. So the teachers got a fright. They said, Baba, we can't look after these bounders. God knows what they are up to. One day they'll bring a knife and push through us. We don't know what to do. And we have had very bad experience in Shri camp about this children. That they had no sense of proportion, nothing, they were not cautious at all. And then I said, what will you do? They have already started jumping, said, from different places. I hope they are not jumping there. So, and one boy broke his leg, they got a fright. So I said, all right, now you do one thing. They are already spoiled. But take one foot rule and keep it and say that if you misbehave, this is the thing. And once or twice, just do a little bit like that. Now that doesn't mean you go on beating your children. I mean, everything should not be taken to an extreme, but there should be a balance. Must understand. So there was one boy who had come as a cook from Austria, and Yogi had asked him, he thought that he is a Westerner, you better look after the children. He started thrashing them left and right. Not the Indian women. Indian women don't thrash so much. You see, we don't beat. I mean, I have slapped my daughter once, one daughter, elder one and younger one twice in their lifetime. We don't believe in thrashing. But you see, they are afraid of our eyes. Even they know what we want, what is good. I'll tell you, my younger daughter, when she went to college in Delhi, she found all the girls were wearing sleeveless blouses. So she came and asked me, should I wear sleeveless blouses because all the girls are wearing sleeveless blouses? I said, go ahead, if you think so. She said, Mommy, why don't you wear sleeveless blouse? I said, I feel shy, I've never worn it, I don't like to expose my hands like that, I don't like it, it's not good. The arms, should be covered, I think. Immediately she said, then it is no criteria. If I say I want this and all that, you should say yes to everything. You should have said no to me, I would have been very happy. So this wisdom is there among Indian children. They like Abdul, as I told you, he said that then who will correct me? Who will stop me from doing wrong? But that's not with our children here. So, you see, because I don't know why, but maybe that our roots are too deep or whatever it is, we are little controlled all the time. And wisdom is very important. If you tell a child you have been very unmannerly, I mean, it's like saying the horridest thing to a child, you are unmannerly. Or to say you are very unwise, then the child feels very hurt. I am unwise, I have not been saying. But the best thing would be to say you are Sahajogis, you are special people. You can't do like that, you are Sahajogis. All the time go on telling them how dignified they should be, what is expected of a Sahajogi, it is better. But never spoil them. This is one thing you should not do, otherwise it will be a permanent headache for you. Even if they are realized souls, whatever they may be. But please see that you do not spoil them. That's very important. Also, as I told you, that don't talk ill of each other on the back. It's a very bad habit. That's how you will catch on boots and you will become extremely negative. Any such thought comes into your mind, just stop it. It's a very nasty disease, you see, that spreads. So it makes you, it's so sickening, when I hear about somebody who talks ill of someone, it's extremely sickening because it's not being human. You see, in the animal, there's one animal called hyena. And they say this hyena is like that. It comes slowly and steals a child or anything. It's a very sly type of an animal. And such a person we call as hyena in India, such a person is called as a hyena. And is regarded as a very low type of a personality. They talk like this. In Sahaja Yoga, it doesn't behave. No Sahajogi should talk ill about each other. Nor should they discuss each other. Never. Now somebody does that, you must immediately say, no, please, I don't want to. Please don't tell me. This is not a very good thing. Politicians do like that, but not Sahajogis. Sahajogis should not do. Because, you see, you are great people, you are yogis. Do you know how a yogi becomes a realized soul in the normal way? The other day I was reading a book about Upanishads. One of them was today, only I saw it in the morning time when I got up. There was written about a yogi. That you have to really starve yourself for so many days. Then you have to do Shirshasana. With that you have to do pranayama. Then you have to get up 4 o'clock in the morning, take your bath, and then sit down for dhyana. And for 5 hours you must sit for your dhyana. After that you have to do pranayama. That's also special style. It's not easy for normal person to do that. Is till you say 16, you raise your left side, take the prana through your, you breathe through your nostril, left one. Now 64 you say keep it here, and then Rechaka, you do the taking it out 32 times. Can you imagine? This you have to do 108 times every day. Minimum. This is the minimum. Now there are so many exercises. If I tell you that, you'll be shocked. So, like you have to stand and suddenly jump and put your both the feet 5 feet apart. Imagine. Then turn round. To clear your nadis, you see, you have to turn around and put yourself on the left side. Now on the left side you put yourself, and it's quite a big thing that they have described. But in short, it's a stretching exercise. And you put your hand on the left side and go down, stretch yourself. Again go back to normal, again jump and go 5 feet apart. Then put to the right side. Nadi cleansing is this way. But there are so many other described, you see, they are so horrible. He said ordinary exercise is for ordinary people. But for a person who wants to achieve yoga, he has to do all these horrible exercises, or I don't know. By that time all your body will be broken the way it is, or you will in any case get moksha, you see. It's like that. But what I'm trying to tell you is this, that now you've got everything simple, easy, this thing. But in a subtle way, still all these nonsensical things are sticking on. And even if you are in the boat now, still it is there and they are creating a heavy weight. And this heavy weight can really take you down again. And when you go down, after a certain height, you go down very fast. So many people we have thrown out of Sahaja Yoga, so many have gone out of Sahaja Yoga, so many have come into Sahaja Yoga. Now the people who have come in the beginning are excused for some time, and also they see you how you behave. It's very important. So first thing we must know that we are people who are Sahajogis, special type of people, specially blessed, and we have so many privileges. So we have to be extremely dignified. I've seen people just will laugh for nothing at all. In a group you are there, they just start laughing. There's no need to laugh, but they'll just start laughing. Even if I am sitting, they'll just go on chatting and talking and see no sense at all. But if your guru is sitting there, you have to keep quiet. You have to be humble. You have to have awe. All these things are important, which we have to gradually learn. Because you have never had a proper training about spiritual life. You see what these churches, or you can say these temples that you have seen, or anything else that you have got those, you see, have not been real masters to tell you how to behave, how to address, how to be there. So now gradually you should see for yourself that you have to grow, and grow very fast. And for that you have to remember we must need our introspection to see where am I, now what am I doing. Now the anger is coming. As soon as the anger starts coming, go and stand before your mirror and say, now come along, let's get angry. You face yourself all the time and it will help, not the others. Now, I have to tell you that whenever you find such people coming up, they will form a group. Then a group can become bigger or absolutely small, depending on you. You have to just say, Mother has said not to listen a word against anyone, just not to listen. And in the beginning, of course, it is quite a lot has to be tolerated. Like I've seen, if you see the letters written to me in the beginning of Sahaja, they are so maddening. This person talking ill about that, that person talking ill about that. I mean, anybody would be mad to read all that. So I never read them. All these letters I used to just burn away. But luckily now these people have become extremely sensible, they understand their responsibility, they have become very, very beautiful people, very understanding, and the love that they have for each other is very interesting. Only in love you can know about others, not in hatred. If you hate someone, how will you know about that person, the beauty of that person? So then you start seeing the beauty of that person and you start enjoying that person. This is what Sahaja Yoga is. So I would like you to see that you train your children in such a manner that they feel their responsibilities as such. God bless.
जय श्री माता जी। हम सब सामूहिकता में श्री माता जी के श्री चरणों में नमस्कार करके आज के इस ध्यान के लिए आभार प्रकट करेंगे और बंधन लेंगे। Let's all bow down to Shri Mata ji. Thank Shri Mata ji for today's meditation and take bandhan. Jai Shri Mata ji.